Season 1 of the Thousand Autumns animated series, or Donghua, called Shanhe Shin. Shanhe Shin.
山河剑心
Thanks, Achao. Anyway, the series is 16 episodes long and covers the story up to the first few chapters of Volume 3 of the English translation. There's a few differences between them, as can be expected of most adaptations. So, if you haven't seen the Donghua and haven't read the English version yet, I suggest you watch one or read the other first, so you have a point of reference for this video. Anyway, let's get into it. In the Donghua, we see Yanwushi check Shan Chao's meridians when he wakes up, but in the novel, Yanwushi was busy picking fights with Kunye and searching for the Zhuang strategy scrolls. The English novel states that, if not for Yu Shengyan's reminder, Yanwushi would have forgotten about Shan Chao entirely. And what is perhaps one of the earliest memorable scenes in the Donghua, when Shan Chao foils an assassination attempt of the One Ye sect. As he leaves for the outside world, Yanwushi provides him with a bamboo stick, just for the lulz it seems. In the translated novel, Yanwushi isn't present when Shan Chao leaves One Ye sect. Poor Achao had to get his own bamboo cane. And I quote, "Early the next morning, the villa's servants woke him up and politely dismissed him from the building. He had nothing to call his own except a green bamboo cane." In the novel, after Shan Chao agrees to pay Chen Gong 3 donkey sandwiches per day and delivers on his promise the next day, Chen Gong asks him how he got the money. Shan Chao says he can read palms and tell fortunes. In the Donghua, Yanwushi is shown visiting Shan Chao's fortune-telling table, and Shan Chao lets him check his meridians. But in the novel, Yanwushi does no such stalkerish behavior, and the next scene where he and Shan Chao meet is actually in Chuyun Temple, where everyone is fighting over a Zhuang strategy scroll. Of course, that doesn't stop me from laughing my ass off every time I watch this scene. Ah, Lo Yan is so shameless. In the Donghua, Yanwushi starts calling Shan Chao Achao at the Chuyun Temple. But in the novel, it is after Shan Chao confronts Yuai at Xuandu Mountain and consequently spars with Yanwushi that Yanwushi starts to call him Achao, possibly because he heard Yuai address Shan Chao with this familiar name. In the novel, it's Yanwushi's first disciple, Yan Yanmei, who discovers that Ho Shijing has stolen the face of Ji Ying. In the Donghua, it's Yu Shengyan who makes this grisly discovery. Okay, now let's bring up something that did happen in both the Donghua and the novel. After Duan Wenyang crashed the party at the Su mansion and promptly got his ass kicked by Shan Chao, Zhang Zichuan does approach Shan Chao and requests to paint him. And I quote, Zhang Zichuan smiled. "I want to ask if you'll let me paint you." "Paint me?" asked Shan Chao. "Exactly," said Zhang Zichuan. "I've always loved painting, and my favorite subjects are gods and immortals. But though this world has all manner of people in it, where would one find a real god or an immortal? But then I saw Shang Jun, and out of everyone, you're the closest to my heart's ideal. That's why I wanted to ask if you'll be my model." Shan Chao had heard all kinds of strange requests, but this was the first time someone had asked to paint him. For a moment, he didn't know how to act or reply. The Donghua includes a scene where Shan Chao plays human chess with the Emperor. While it is an impressive scene visually, in the novel, their meeting is a lot more ordinary. Shan Chao and Yanwushi entered the palace and sat down in the Emperor's presence and spoke with him like normal human beings. So, this part in the story where Shan Chao bids Yanwushi farewell only to be stalked by him in the next episode, did happen in the novel as well. Sort of. In the Donghua, Lao Yan steals A Chao's teacup. In the novel, they share a jug of plum juice. And I quote, "He smiled at Shan Chao. Your expression doesn't have the joy of someone who's seen their old comrade from a distant land." Shan Chao said helplessly, "I'd be happier if sect leader Yan hadn't come just to see me." "Indeed, I didn't come just to see you," said Yan Wushi. He sat down next to him, and Shan Chao called the waiter over. Soon a second jug of plum juice arrived, together with a bowl and chopsticks. Yan Wushi laughed. "Why is A Chao in such a hurry to draw a line between us?" Shan Chao didn't take him seriously. "I recall that you value cleanliness. You would never share a jug with someone else." Yan Wushi didn't reply. He didn't use the fresh jug that the waiter had brought. Instead, he picked up Shan Chao's jug and poured some into his bowl, then brought it to his mouth and took a sip. In the Donghua, Shan Chao confronts the five masters who gang up on Yan Wushi and manages to carry Yan Wushi to safety. But in the novel, he actually shows up late to the party and Yan Wushi is already dead, and Shan Chao asks that the masters allow him to bury the body. Spoiler alert, Yan Wushi is not quite dead though. So those are just some of the differences between the Donghua and the English version of the novel. The second season of山河剑心was announced back in 2021, but so far hasn't officially aired yet as far as I know. I do highly suggest that you read the English novels as well. I'm enjoying reading them so far and looking forward to Volume 4 coming out in March 2024.